Welcome to the Morongo Environmental Protection Department virtual tour. The Morongo Band of Mission Indians, a federally recognized Indian tribe exercising inherent sovereignty and jurisdiction over the Morongo Indian Reservation, finds that persons living on or doing business within the reservation at times engage in acts that threaten the health and safety of tribal members and other persons within the reservation, degrade or pollute the air, water, and land, contaminate the tribe's aquifers, groundwaters, surface waters, drinking water supplies, and other natural resources, and threaten to cause the deterioration of the environment, the tribe's cultural and historic resources, and quality of life of the tribe and its members. The tribe finds that it is necessary to adopt standards and procedures by which the tribe can take action to prevent such threats, pollution, and deterioration. It began with these written words of Morongo Ordinance 12, put forth in February of 2000 that the Morongo Environmental Protection Department was created. As was then, we continue to commit the duties and responsibilities that are specified by Tribal Council. With funding primarily from the United States Environmental Protection Agency, our staff of 6 help protect Morongo's air, water, and land, while helping to fulfill the Strategic Plan, EPA's National Strategy for Protecting Human Health and the Environment. Under the principles of Morongo's tribal sovereignty, we promote tribal environmental regulations, encourage harmony between humans and their environment, and protect the stability and integrity of residential, wilderness, forest, desert, riparian, and environmental sensitive lands within the reservation. Welcome to the Morongo's Tribal Air Program, where we strive to ensure that Morongo community members are aware of their air quality. To accomplish this, the Tribal Air Program is continuously monitoring the air quality and collecting data at various locations on the reservation. At our air monitoring station, located near Little Creators and Morongo School, our equipment measures particulate matter and ozone in the air. These two pollutants are known to harm human health and the environment. Equipment at the site is routinely maintained, calibrated, or updated. Data gathered at this site is collected, analyzed, and reported to the EPA. The Tribal Air Program also maintains 3 weather stations. One at Well 6 in Potrero Canyon, another near the Public Works Facility, and the third near Morongo's wastewater treatment plant. These weather stations operate and collect various meteorological data, all while being powered by solar panels. The data collected is also utilized by Morongo's fire department. In the event of an emergency such as a fire, the Tribal Air Program has the capability to deploy an EBAM, a mobile air station that monitors particulate matter. The EBAM mobile air station is mounted on a trailer and is also powered by solar panels, giving it the ability to be situated anywhere on Morongo Reservation for any length of time. In between emergencies, the EBAM has been monitoring the air quality near Robertson Rock Quarry and near CHP's diesel truck weigh station. As required by EPA's Title V Clean Air Act, the Tribal Air Program conducts quarterly nitrogen oxide monitoring at Morongo's cogeneration facility. This facility produces electricity from our 4 2-megawatt natural gas-fired engines and is the main power source for Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Monitoring this facility is essential in maintaining its efficiency and compliance with EPA's emission standards. Greetings from the Morongo Tribal Water Program. The goal of our department is to measure and maintain the quality of the water and to promote conservation of the precious resource. The process of keeping the water safe includes regular monitoring of streams and also promoting activities and practices that help to conserve and keep the water clean through public outreach. Sampling sites throughout the reservation gives the Tribal Water Program information about areas that can use improvement. This information is valuable and helps keep track of pollutants that can harm the wildlife and enter into the groundwater which we drink. The information gathered at each of the sampling sites are compiled and sent to the EPA to be stored for use. Public outreach is the best tool to prevent pollutants from entering the water system. Exercises on conserving water was conducted at the post rally for the school children, where each team had to race to fill a container of water using teamwork and being careful with the water as they transported it. The lesson taught them to be mindful of the water we use, as much of it goes to waste if we do not pay attention. The tribal water program currently tests the water for heavy metals, bacteria, nitrates, and phosphates, and other pollutants that might enter the water system, and sets limits to each under the Clean Water Act. Through monitoring and sampling and with public outreach, the tribal water program will help ensure that the water handed down to future generations is as clean, if not cleaner, than today's water. The core of the Morongo Pollution Prevention Program is reducing waste in the first place, conserving natural resources, and properly disposing of waste in order to prevent pollutants from harming the tribe's air, water, and land resources. The Morongo P2 program ensures all solid and hazardous wastes are disposed of properly and in compliance with applicable federal and state laws, as well as the tribe's environmental code, dictating regulations for solid and hazardous waste disposal on the Morongo Indian Reservation. Programs to promote proper disposal include an electronic waste recycling program for any electronic device including TVs, computers, gaming systems, vacuum cleaners, and batteries. A household hazardous waste collection program to collect any unwanted hazardous products such as paints, pesticides, cleaners, automotive oils, pool chemicals, and herbicides. These materials are stored in the hazardous waste storage shed until they are transported by a licensed contractor to a hazardous waste disposal facility, and a lamp recycling program for all mercury-containing fluorescent lamps from the casino, enterprises, and tribal administration facilities. The P2 program also promotes and manages waste reduction programs such as recycling and composting. The program manages a curbside recycling program where participants receive a $10 discount on their refuse bill for participating in the program, as well as managing a mandatory recycling program at all the tribe's administration facilities and enterprises. An annual Christmas tree recycling program collects live trees curbside and uses the trees for mulch around the reservation. Grass clippings are also collected from the ball field and Potrero Park and fed to the cattle instead of being sent to a landfill. Food scraps are collected in the tribal administration break rooms and used to create compost, a natural fertilizer utilized in the community native gardens. Additional programs to reduce waste include appliance scrap metal recycling and clothing and shoe recycling. Residents can request a special pickup or can bring any of their recyclable or hazardous materials to the drop-off site at Public Works. The Pollution Prevention Program also works to remediate past pollution by identifying illegal dump sites and cleaning them up. To date, the program has identified 21 sites and cleaned up 14 of the sites. Our most recent cleanup is in Hathaway Canyon, where the Environmental and Public Works Departments removed almost 4 tons of tires, appliances, and other old household wastes. The Resource Conservation Program is actively involved in invasive species removal, erosion control, species identification, reseeding, and biological assessments. The Environmental Protection Department has completed many dump site cleanups, often utilizing heavy equipment to help remove larger dump sites. This heavy equipment leaves the area bare of vegetation and susceptible to erosion and can promote invasive species growth. To remediate the site, the EPD surveys the surrounding plant life to determine which type of seeds to use in the area. We only use seeds native to the Morongo Canyon such as blue wild rye, deergrass, wildflowers, sage, lupin, purple needlegrass, and June grass. Then the area is reseeded using the plot master which discs the ground and drops seeds behind the equipment. Or the site can be reseeded using the EPD's hydroseeder. The hydroseeder is a tank that mixes water, seed, and mulch, and this mixture is sprayed throughout a hose onto the bare ground. To help control erosion in highly susceptible areas such as roadsides, silt fencing is put up. Silt fences allow water to flow through the screen while trapping the mud. This helps to keep Morongo's roads clean and prevent extra sediments from contaminating our water resources. Ultimately, these activities help to promote a healthy native plant environment on the Morongo Reservation. Global Positioning System, or GPS, is a constellation of 29 satellites orbiting the Earth that was introduced by the United States military in the 1970s. Today, it's freely accessible for use by anyone on the planet who has a GPS receiver. These receivers can be in the form of a handheld device equipped in a vehicle and now on cell phones and tablets. The 29 satellites are in continuous orbit and provide constant radio signals that are interpreted by the receivers. The orbits are designed in such a way that on any place on Earth at any given time, at least 6 satellites are visible to the receiver. The satellites transmit 2 pieces of information that allow the translation of where the receiver is located. The first is time, very accurate time that is calculated using an atomic clock. The second is satellite's position in its orbit. Knowing how far away you are from 3 locations, you can determine exactly where you are. This method is called trilateration and is the sample principle on which a GPS receiver works by receiving the radio signals. Having a 4th location allows you to determine your elevation as well. The Morongo Environmental Protection Department has used various GPS receivers to mark the positions of water service features, dump sites, vegetation and reseeding areas, water sampling locations, billboards, and much more. The gathered features are commonly used in our department's Geological Information System, or GIS. GIS is a composition of software, hardware, data, and people that allows the display, interaction, study, and interpretation of life, land, and processes. It relates information to place and time, providing information as maps, tables, reports, and graphics. GIS uses the environmental department include relating a weather station to its temperature, a water sampling point to its pH, and locations of frequent illegal dumping. Other examples include classifying potential habitat for wildlife and plants, and identifying areas for prospective solar farms. The relationships revealed by GIS provide an insight to environmental factors, which gives the department a dynamic and unique perspective of the Morongo Reservation. Thank you for your interest in and support of the Environmental Protection Department. With your help, we can preserve the land, air, and water for future generations to enjoy.